त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. These three are the gates of hell, destructive of the self. What are the three? Lust, anger, and greed. Therefore, one should abandon these three. Oh my God, how can I live without kama, krodha, and lobha? Somebody might think that way. So, who creates hell for me? Myself. Where is hell? In my mind. Because my mind plays viciously and that creates hell for me. So what creates the world for me? My mind creates the world for me. So what are the aspects that can help me to create hell for myself? And that's a good idea. Why don't we think that way? Why you want to go to heaven all the time or live in heaven all the time? Why not hell? What's wrong with hell? Somebody will say. Okay, if you are ready to suffer and also make others suffer around you, then you create a hell for yourself. So, how do I create hell, O Guru? Somebody asks. So, the Guru has answers for all. Why? Because, you see, we are human beings and we have justification for everything that we do. We are very cunning. So, we don't accept that these are not the right things to have in mind. So, we have excuses to make. Anger is important. Without karma, how can world go on? Without anger, how can I manage the people around me? And without greed or passion, what can motivate me to work? So all the three, for all the three we have justification. And then also, on top of that, we crib and cry over the troubles that we suffer. When I have created hell for myself, how dare I cry, crib, or blame, or do any such thing? Then let me suffer also happily. As happily I am creating it for myself. These are the vices, worse than ever. Because they not only destroy me, but also the people around me, the situation, the circumstances. Nothing can be handled properly if one is living in this kind of a hell. Kama, krodha. See, actually speaking, this passionate desire, kama vasana, that itself leads us to the rest of the two. Because when the desires are satiated, then I fall into greed. When they are not satiated, then that leads me to anger. So simple it is. So what is the root cause of all the troubles is this kama. What is this kama? There is nothing wrong in desiring for something, but to be passionate about it, or to be stubborn, or to be after it, it's not right. If desire overpowers my mind, then it leads me to trouble. If desire comes and goes, nothing wrong. Why? Because the very cause of my birth is desire. My own desires, the bundle of vasanas, has led me to this life. So I can't say that I will be free from desires. But yes, who tells me to get attached or be possessed by my desires? Can I deal with my desires more dispassionately and decently or not? Should I satiate my desire in spite of, or only if it is possible to do so? Should I be obstinate about my desire, or is it okay if it is not satiated and I let it pass? So, one has to develop this thought process where one is able to observe and reject. First of all the unwanted desires, undesirable desires. Unwanted? Oh, I want it, therefore I have this desire. No, it could be so that it is lying dormant in my mind stuff, chitta, and it has now surfaced at a certain time, where now I don't see any reason for it to be entertained. So I let it pass. Or it could be so that after learning from the scriptures, I understand that this is not right. It is not right to entertain every desire that comes in mind. And I must assess whether it is harmful or beneficial or okay. And can I let it go past or not? So this assessment, this analysis is so important. And then only I can deal with my desires that are surfacing every now and then. Why should I try to entertain these desires even at the cost of losing my peace of mind? Is it worth it? No. Why do I satiate my desire to the extent that they become so powerful that I get obsessed by them and it turns into greed? Why? So this thought of not entertaining the desires so that I don't fall into the hell of anger and greed is the work or the practice of a seeker. Important practice for a seeker so that one can grow out of this passionate nature. So, is desire for learning the scriptures also called a desire? This is a very ridiculous question asked very commonly by all those who want to make excuses to still entertain the desires, that's all. Is it all right to entertain good desires like worship and learning the scriptures? Or do you actually desire for such things, or it is your need? Most of the people practice such things out of need, not out of greed. And then it leads to greed because I want something after worshipping. It is out of want, out of greed. Then of course it is to be rejected. But yet it is a better desire. So rather than becoming violent, let me worship, even out of desire for something. That was initially Bhagavan would have accepted. But at this stage, when we have completed 15 full chapters of the Bhagavad Geeta, and now we are at the fag end of the 16th one, entering the 17th one, and at that time also if I make an excuse for my worship or study of the scriptures or going to a sacred place, and that cannot be now justified. It is not the desire. It is the fact that a human being, to inculcate culture, religion and spirituality, will need to go to such places, will need to learn the scriptures, will need to worship and have devotion, right? By now we would have understood the value of devotion also in life, because it inculcates so many virtues in us. A virtuous person is a true devotee, we have known by now. So the virtues directly, indiscriminately reject desires, anger and greed anyway, right? So how can we have a desire for worship? It is contradictory. So the question doesn't arise. The religion, Gurudev says, is not to be practiced because it is my need, but it is needed to be practiced because it is true. Religion is true because it takes me towards truth. It avoids my greed towards the false. It grows me out of the greed towards the false desires of mine. So therefore, religion and spirituality are so important in life that we can't say that I desire to be spiritual or I desire to be religious. No. It must be practiced. It is a must. And we will know more about it in the coming chapter, right? That what are the most essential activities for a human being to inculcate that kind of steadiness of mind and intellect that can lead one to the supreme. So close the 3 doors, Bhagavan says. These are the 3 doors to hell. So if I close the door and lock it up, and suppose I am inside the hell, then there will be a bigger problem. Do not close the door of hell till you are sure that you are out of it, right? Otherwise, nobody will be able to pull you out again. So make sure that you are out of it and then close the door so that nobody can open it for you. You won't open it for yourself. But then people will say, no, Mataji, our family is very nice, but our neighbors, they create hell for us. Another problem. No, we have always our view towards the external world. We have no view towards ourselves. As much he is my neighbor, I am also his neighbor, right? So what instigated him to behave so badly with me should be introspected. Why not? There should be some introspection also. It cannot be one-sided all the time. And maybe it is so. So do I have patience, forbearance? Do I have compassion, kindness, politeness, etc.? The virtues? Tolerance? Knowledge? Large-heartedness? What more do I need so that it gets faded away? The hellish kind of environment that is created around me can be faded away slowly. Can be possible. Why not? Why don't I have the strength within me to create a heaven-like environment rather than getting impacted by the hell kind of environment created by others? Maybe something wrong within me. So let me check upon myself. This is what the scriptures tell us. Do not point out your fingers to others. Look within and find out. So therefore Bhagavan says, Tasmat etat trayam tyajet. Therefore these 3 need to be abandoned. So who's learning? I am learning. So who's supposed to abandon? No, my neighbors are supposed to abandon. No. I am supposed to abandon those. Why? Because I am learning. Because they are going to destroy me and the people around me, the environment around me. So let me close these doors to hell. It has always been like that the world is in totality. This world is very petty, like if you compare it with the whole of creation. No comparison. This our earth is very tiny little habitant planet, and the rest of the creation is also there. Okay, in this little planet we are there, and we are little nothing on this planet. And in that also, we handful of human beings, total human beings on earth, handful only, right? As compared to the greatness of the creation. And amongst us, we create a world of ours our own in totality as per the total possible behavior that we get out of the total human beings, right? So whom are we supposed to blame? Nobody. We are a part of the same humankind. So if we are not kind enough, then it is our fault. So in totality, it is required for the whole world of ours to look within and stop creating hell, not for our own selves and also for others. So therefore, every human being is supposed to come under the shelter of one's own religion. There are saints and sages in every religion who are preaching peace, non-violence, harmony, sacredness all around the world for the welfare of the humanity and the world in totality also. But then we are ready to create hell. So in totality, if maximum number of human beings will fall in the demonic attitude, then there will be hellish environment on this earth itself. Desire, passion, running after it, which leads to anger, violence, and greed. So that the disparity, all that, right? So we can see it around us. It's not that God and a devil have created hell. It's we are creating it.